Hello everyone, it's Ed Mack here. I have some good ideas, you guys. Today me and my son were at Chico's Tacos, one of our favorite places to go for lunch. And I ran into a very prominent doctor in our community. I won't mention his name. I've known him for about 25 years. I used to go to all the doctor parties with him when I used to own a plumbing company. I was flipping property. And I used to hang out with all the doctors. They were really good friends of mine. And he saw my hat. He's like, wow, you're really running it. I said, yes, I am. And I started talking about the Second Chance program. And he goes, you know what? These courts, they have nothing for these kids. There's no programs put into place. We all, us physicians, we get called in the aftermath. You know, even the coroners. Kids die, you guys. Drug overdoses. Kids die. And I do blame the courts. I blame our law enforcement. I blame our politicians for all of this. Because you know what? Everyone has their cushy job. Everyone has their retirement. And no one cares about anyone in this county anymore. It's almost like this. It's all throughout the nation. See, since I've gotten into politics, I've learned how things work. If there's a policy, it takes money. So if you have a politician that's not doing his job, but he keeps getting voted in because just people just name recognition, that's all it takes is a man who has lots of money to step in and send flyers out. Flyers explaining to you what this man really is. And then what happens? Opens the eyes to people and they vote against him. So anyways, with that said, I wanted to say something. So we went on and talked. Remember what I just said there. So we went on and we started talking about it, and I told him what I want to do. I said, you know, a kid comes in, goes before a judge. Let's just say he shot out some windows. Maybe he got caught with some meth or a little bit of dope. Instead of giving him a $5,000 or $6,000 fine and ruining this kid's life, how do we know if he wasn't molested by his uncle? How do we know if he wasn't abused by an alcoholic father? We don't know these things because we don't give a shit in this county. We forget that God created us all unique. We all have our own unique fingerprint. We forget about that. It's all about the almighty buck. Well, guess what? Our kids are our future. And under my watch, this shit ain't going to go on anymore. I am a man of a second chance. If I didn't get my second chance, I sure wouldn't own a gun factory. I sure wouldn't own collectible museum piece machine guns here. I wouldn't be able to flip property and own a plumbing company if I didn't get a second chance from some really good, compassionate judges that were fathers, that weren't all about stealing money. They're about reforming. So anyways, basically, my life, because of my second chances, instead of going down the spiral of these fines and the criminal record, they gave me a chance to go to Boston to learn a plumbing trade. We will drop all these charges if you go to Boston to learn a plumbing trade. And I did. And when I learned that plumbing trade, I came out here to Havasu. And the time I came out to Havasu, we started having bad judges. The judges are all about the money. And I think I've told the story about that, how they screwed me right out of the gate. Here I am, a young man, second chance, going to do really good, and they freaking hit me because of cronyism in here. They hit me with the fine. I just got full custody of my daughter. They took me out at the knees. But I thank God that he was watching me. He knew. God knew that my second chance was important and that I didn't take that second chance for granted. These kids need direction. And instead of giving them these high fines, we give them that second chance. And that second chance is this. And we have plenty of businesses in this county that are willing participants that will take these kids on and teach them a plumbing trade. And upon completion of those, the plumbing trade or electrical trade, or even welding or anything like that, maybe a small fine, no criminal record. Now these kids are going to be like, oh my God, wow, I'm making good money. I can go anywhere in this country. We just, know what we just did? Made productive citizens. We just made our future much greater. But right now, we ain't doing shit but leeching from the taxpayers' dimes. No program set in place. So here's the thing. I called Matt Smith. That's your county attorney, and he's an elected official. And he's been the county attorney for many, many years. And I think over 20 years. And it seems like no one's run against him. You guys just vote Matt Smith. I called out to him to help the kids. I talked to Sonny Burley. Burley is completely on board on helping the kids. He says, I won't stand behind you as a sheriff, and I will not stand behind Doug Schuster as a sheriff because I want to stay out of the race. You understand? I said, that's fine. That's politics. But he said, I'll get behind anything to help our kids. That was awesome, Burley. Leo, I know he'll be on board. They told me I have to go talk to Judge Gertler. Now, I haven't called Judge Gertler, but Matt Smith never returned my phone calls, just to let you guys know. Maybe he was on vacation, or maybe it was from 2016 race, and maybe we have little indifferences. I don't know. Maybe you should put that aside, if there is some indifferences between me and him. And maybe we should focus on kids instead of politics, and think about helping our kids. Again, I put the blame on our law enforcement. I put the blame on, and not our law enforcement, I put the blame on the chain of command of law enforcement. They're out forcing these tickets, stressing out our officers, lack of patrol on the streets, lack of community outreach programs. We got serious issues here in this county. A man of a second chance can change these things. I don't need the money, you guys. I own 2 factories. I'm in it for you, and I really am. So, what I plan on doing, if we can't get any action here in this county, then when it comes up to re-election for some of these guys, I'm hoping Gertler gets a hold of me. He's our superior judge. If they don't reach out to me, and we don't talk about this thing, then all I'm going to do, and this is just, I'm going to let you guys know that I didn't get a phone call back from them. And then you guys decide on when the elections come up for them. It'll be up to you to decide. I'll just say, I'll document it. I reached out to them. There's the programs. Here's the businesses. And they'll be up to you if you want to vote them in again. Because our children are our future. And I'm sick and tired of the crap that goes on in this county. It's about time we have programs. About time we fix this mess. All I know, August 3rd, 2020 is the sheriff election. And I hope you check Ed Mack. I will work for you. You will be my boss. We're going to clean up this county together. Remember that name, Ed Mack.